Good morning, everyone. Welcome to our Madison County Fiscal Court meeting on February the 9th, 2021. Due to the COVID-19 pandemic, the Madison County Fiscal Court will be video conferencing the Fiscal Court meeting live on the Madison County, Kentucky Facebook page and local Spectrum TV channel 377 in compliance with the Office of the Attorney General OAG opinion of 20-05. At this time, I'd like to call this meeting to order. Clerk Barger, if you will, please call the roll.
Master Reynolds.
Present.
Master Barger.
Here.
Master Tudor.
Here.
Master Botkin.
Present.
Judge Taylor.
Here. At this time, I'd like to invite our magistrate of our 3rd District, John Tudor, to lead us in a word of prayer.
Let us pray, please. In memory of the ones that have lost loved ones during this coronavirus, let's take a moment of silence and then pray, please. Dear Heavenly Father, we thank you for this day. We thank you for this country, for our first responders, our servicemen, and we thank you, Lord, for us finding a handle for this coronavirus and bringing it to a slowdown, Lord. Please help us to continue to find a relief from it, find a cure from it, and bring a country and our lives back to normal. We thank you for all that you've given us. We thank you most of all for your Son, Jesus Christ. Please be with this meeting, that we make decisions wise for this county, Lord. Be with us in all that we say and do, and forgive us for our sins. We ask in your precious name. Amen.
Amen.
At this time, I'm going to invite our magistrate of our 4th District to lead us in the pledge.
Stand, please join in. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Tom. Thanks, John. Next, we have approval of our minutes from our January the 26th meeting. I need a motion and a second to approve. Tom Botkin. Tom, you were muted. Was that a motion to approve? All right. I have a motion to approve. Do I have a second? I can't see everybody. Roger Barger.
So moved. Second.
I have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, call the roll, please.
Master Reynolds. I wasn't watching.
Who did you call, Kenny? I'm having a little bit of technical difficulties here with feedback. Who did you call on?
Paul. Prue.
All right. Paul, did you vote yet? Yeah, he's just said yes.
Okay. Master Barger.
Yes.
Master Tudor.
Yes.
Master Botkin.
Yes.
Judge Taylor.
There's an echo somewhere.
Kenny, I'm sure that you called my name. So, yes.
Got it.
All right, thank you all. Next is our treasurer's report will be at our fourth Tuesday meeting. And hopefully we'll get these technical difficulties fixed here in a second because we have an exciting group on with us today that I'm honored to have on our fiscal court meeting. And in my opinion, are true heroes of our community. If you truly know what these individuals do for our community, it's really amazing and fascinating. And a lot of times true heroes are behind the scenes and you don't even know the work that they are doing and how that they are impacting lives. So we do have a special group and we will recognize each one of them in a minute. But first I would like to read a proclamation. It's the Madison County Fiscal Court proclamation. Whereas in response to growing concerns and a desire to remove barriers to educational success, the Kentucky General Assembly created the Family Resource and Youth Service Centers, also known as FRISC, as an integral part of the reform system. And whereas FRISC has been significantly impacting the lives of students and families in Kentucky for over 30 years, and whereas the growing number and the complexity of problems faced by our society, poverty, family restructuring, teenage pregnancy, substance abuse, and domestic and youth violence has caused increasing levels of stress on families and children, stress that children bring to the classroom, which creates barriers to learning. Whereas the Cabinet for Health and Family Services and Division of FRISC has the responsibility for administration of this program, where the Kentucky Department of Education continues to provide technical support for the public education mandate. And whereas these centers are designed to address the needs of children by developing partnerships with schools, families, and communities to help all public school students reach proficiency. And whereas now more than 2 decades since inception, the Kentucky Family Resource and Youth Service Centers are recognized as the nation's largest school-based family support initiative. And whereas recent surveys report that educators, parents, and community partners feel that the Family Resource and Youth Service Centers are a necessary component of Kentucky's educational programming and a program vital to students, empowering families and helping to improve schools. Now, therefore, I, Reagan Taylor, do hereby proclaim February 10th, 2021 as FRISC Day and urge all citizens to honor the Madison County Family Resource and Youth Service Centers for their service they provide to our students and families each day. At this time, Amy Carmichael was maybe having some technical difficulties.
I think I'm here. Can you hear me?
I can hear you, Amy. It's great to have you. I appreciate your willingness to be on today, and it's an honor to have you. And I would love it if you would sort of recognize all of our Family Resource Center directors.
Okay.
And maybe as you recognize the directors, maybe each one of you all could wave so that everybody knows who we're recognizing.
Well, I'm going to recognize everyone that's frisky in Madison County. I can't see who is present, so I'm just going to recognize everybody if that's okay. First and foremost, we appreciate your time and you all taking the time to recognize us. This group of people have worked very hard for many years in the district and throughout the county to help our kids and families, so we appreciate you all taking the time to recognize that. At Berea Community, we have Diane Smith, who I know is on. At Kingston Elementary, we have Angie Daniels. Serving Silver Creek and Shannon Johnson, we have Dana Lowe and Brandon Holbrook. At Foley and Ferristown, we have Zach Ray and Etta Birchfield. At Madison Southern, Sean Quinlan is running the Youth Service Center there. Clark Moores and Madison Middle is served by Kim Quinlan and Woody Schatt. Madison Central is being run by our newly hired director, Tanya Snyder, and she is doing a wonderful job, just started a few weeks ago, and Marianne Haynes just retired, and she had done the job for 25, 30 years. So we appreciate the work that she did as well. At Daniel Boone, we have Tracy McIntosh. At Glenn Marshall and B. Michael Cottle, we have Ashley Taylor. And at Whitehall and Kit Carson, we have Stephanie Beard and Tanya Sparks. At Waco, we have Becky Maupin. And I am at Kirksville. Did I forget anybody? There's so many of us.
Amy, you forgot Kathy Coomer. She's working with me at Glenn Marshall and Cottle. She just started last week.
Oh, I apologize. Thank you, Ashley. I need someone to keep me in line. Thank you.
And may I also introduce Abby Derringer from Berea?
Thank you, Diane. And for those of you all that are just learning about Family Resource and Youth Service Centers, Family Resource Centers serve elementary students and their families, which would be their younger siblings, birth to 5. And then the Youth Service Centers serve our middle school and high school students until graduation, and they get them ready for the workforce. And so not only have we been working to provide basic needs for our families, like food and clothing, and help with shelter and electricity during the pandemic, we've also been trudging along trying to do other programs that we always do, like our family nights, our book buddies programs, drug education, employment education, parent workshops, you name it, we're trying to do it, and we're just having to try a little bit differently and do things a little bit more creatively during this time. But we work 365 throughout the year. We don't have summers off like teachers, so we're here all the time to serve our families and children.
Thank you so much, Amy. Would anybody else like to say anything? Masters, fiscal court members, Tom Bakken?
Hey, Judge, I just want to just give a few things out. My wife was down at Shannon Johnson up in the front there for several years, and I got to see some of the fine firsthand work that Dana Lowe was doing down there at Shannon Johnson. And, a couple years ago, if you remember, when money was really, really tight, the legislator was talking about maybe cutting family services. And man, that just sent cringe up and down me, because I saw what they were doing down there firsthand. And that's a program that needs to be around forever. And so we certainly appreciate everything you all are doing. Dana, you do a great job down there.
Thank you so much, Tom. I appreciate that. And please tell Karen that we miss her so much.
I'll chime in with this. I'm Sean Quinlan down at Madison Southern High School. And what I would say is that we have a great community. When we have a need that comes up and we put it out there, either it's answered within our school from our school staff, or our school staff reaches out to others with the community. And we have a very good community. And the way I put it is, the community helps us help our students. So it's truly, we're all in it together. And I'd like to thank everybody for helping us when we put out the call.
Thanks, Sean. Anyone else? John Tudor.
Judge, I'd just like to say I really appreciate all the family resource directors and service workers. I'm kind of in the know because my wife has been a teacher. She's retired and gone back to teaching now. And she's always coming home and saying how much she appreciates the family resource directors, what they do for the children and the community, the after school meals, the clothes they help provide for the kids that need clothing. And with school not being in session now, some of those children are missing some of those benefits. And so I'm so glad the school's back in session now. It's just so good to be connected with the children through the family resource centers. Thank you, guys.
Thank you. We're very blessed to have a great community to live and work in, and we appreciate the work that you all do to make our community so great. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Amy. And thanks to each one of the directors. I appreciate you all being on today. I'm really appreciative of your dedication. And I think something that's important to not make sure that doesn't go unnoticed is what they do after hours. You know, our resource directors aren't just there during the school day. I mean, they're doing home visits of the evenings. They're making sure that students have the resources they need after hours as much as during the school day, weekends, making sure they have food to eat over the weekend. So kudos to each and every one of you. Tom Bakken, you're exactly right. It's a program that never needs to go away. And as long as I'm here, and I'm sure the other magistrates feel the same way, if that ever comes up again, we will definitely be advocating for that not to happen. So God bless. You're all more than welcome to stay on this wonderful fiscal court meeting. But I understand it if you've got other things to do. So thank you all for being on today.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right. Next on our agenda is a first reading of ordinance. Actually, before I go to there, I'm going to ask the court's permission to amend the agenda to add number 8, personnel at the animal shelter. I need a motion and a second to amend the agenda to add personnel at the animal shelter. Roger Barger.
Second.
All right, so I have a motion by Roger and a second by Paul Reynolds. If there's no discussion, call the roll, please.
Master Bakken,
Yes.
Master Reynolds,
Yes.
Master Barger,
Yes.
Master Tudor,
Yes.
Judge Taylor.
Yes. Next on our agenda is first reading of ordinance 2021-01. This is a general obligation bond of 2021. Just for the group, if we have any questions, Glenn is going to read our ordinance, our first reading of our ordinance. We also have Joe Lakofka on here as well with Ross Sinclair. So if we have any questions, Glenna?
Okay, ordinance number 2021-01, an ordinance of the County of Madison, Kentucky, authorizing the issuance of general obligation bonds series 2021A in the aggregate principal amount of approximately $7,500,000, which amount may be increased or decreased by up to $750,000, to finance all or a portion of the cost of the acquisition, construction, equipping, and installation of various energy savings improvements to certain county facilities, and general obligation refunding bonds series 2021B in the aggregate principal amount of $6,635,000, which amount may be increased or decreased by up to $660,000, to currently refund the outstanding County of Madison, Kentucky general obligations refunding bond series 2012, approving the filing of a notice with the state local debt officer, approving the preparation of preliminary and final official statements or other offering documents with respect to the bonds, authorizing acceptance of the bid of the bond purchaser for the purchase of the bonds, approving the forms of the bonds, authorizing designating officers to execute and deliver the bonds, providing for the payment and security of the bonds, creating bond payment funds, maintaining the heretofore created sinking fund, and repealing inconsistent ordinances. Now therefore be it resolved that the fiscal court does hereby approve this ordinance and authorizes the judge executive to execute same on behalf of the county.
Thank you, Glenna. Do I have a motion and a second to approve the first reading of ordinance 2021-01, general obligation bond 2021? Roger?
So moved.
Tom Bakken?
Second for ordinance 2021-01, Judge.
I have a motion and a second. Do we have any discussion today? One thing I want to make sure that y'all understand is this ordinance is really sort of a twofold. The 2012 series bonds does have an opportunity to come due in September for refinancing. This bond was set prior to any of us being elected, and it is the debt that we have on the annex, the jail, and the golf course. And so we thought that we would go ahead in case that there was better options for us in early fall, late summer, that we would go ahead and get this on the books to refinance if it was in the best interest of the county. With interest rates right now, if interest rates hold, that it probably will be in the best interest of the county to refinance. Obviously, I would like to reduce the term of that note so we could save some years and not take it all the way out to 2036. But we will see what those rates are and what our options are when we get a little closer to being able to refinance. So now know that this is kind of a two-part ordinance. John Tudor.
Judge, I think this is a pretty good idea to refinance if it becomes available anytime that you can save money over the same term and reduce payment or pay it off a little bit quicker by refinancing. I think that's a good move for the county at this time.
Thanks, John. Tom?
Hey, Judge, I also think it's good for the public to know that by the lower interest rate and refinancing this bond, we're projecting a savings of $378,612 over the course of that.
Yeah, absolutely. And then the other portion of this bond, just remember that this is actually paid for through the savings of the energy project that we're working on. So it's not going to take any additional funds that we're not already spending. So any other comments? All right, we do have a motion and a second to approve the first reading. This will be, let's see, for any citizen that would like to make public comment, please feel free to email the comment to comments@madisoncountyky.us. A copy of this ordinance will be available on our website at www.madisoncountyky.us under the transparency tab. And anybody that has any questions, feel free to reach out to me or through our comments on our website. All right, no more discussion. Call the roll, please.
Master Reynolds,
Yes.
Master Barger,
Yes.
Master Tudor,
Yes.
Master Bakken,
Yes.
Let's do.
Yes. Thank you all. Thanks, Joe, for being on. Next, we have Resolution 2021-19. This is DLG Utility Assistance Grant application. We have our very own Tom Webb on with us. Good morning, Tom.
Good morning, Judge.
If you'll read the resolution, please.
Be happy to. A resolution for application and administration of Kentucky Development for Local Government, Kentucky Community Development Block Grant, COVID-19 Public Service Project Utility Assistance Program Funds. Whereas the Kentucky Department for Local Government, DLG, is accepting applications from units of local government to help Kentuckians in their jurisdictions with overdue utility bills. And whereas the DLG will administer this funding from the Community Development Block Grant Coronavirus Response CDBG-CV program established by the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development, HUD, And whereas the DLG is partnering with the 15 area development districts in Kentucky to assist units of local government, local nonprofit community service providers, and eligible Kentuckians with their applications and administering these funds. And whereas these funds are designed to help Kentuckians, one, that have been financially impacted by COVID-19, two, are struggling to pay water, sewer, electric, gas, or other heating and cooling bills, three, have received notice for disconnect between January 21st, 2020 and present day, and or up to 2 months following with overdue utility bills. And whereas the Madison County Fiscal Court, Kentucky desires to make an application for these DLG Kentucky Community Development Block Grant COVID-19 Public Service Project Assistance Program funds. And whereas the County of Madison, Kentucky wishes to authorize a judge executive and or his designee to make application for DLG Kentucky Community Development Block Grant COVID-19 Public Service Project Utility Assistance Program funds. And if the application is successful, to enter into an agreement with the DLG to administer the award, to execute any documents which are deemed necessary to facilitate and administer the award, to act as authorized correspondent for the award. And whereas the amount of grant funds Madison County will receive under this program, if any, will not be determined until applications are reviewed and approved by the DLG. And whereas there is no match required, now therefore be resolved this 9th day of February 2021 by Madison County, Kentucky, the judge executive and or his designee is hereby authorized to execute and furnish all required documentation, including memorandum of agreements, as may be required for the furtherance of the above referenced project, and to act as act as the authorized correspondent for said project.
Thank you, Tom. That one portion there, it's a mouthful there.
Yes,
on
sir.
What this project's called.
I was hoping you'd read this one today.
You did well, buddy. You did well. At this time, do I have a motion and a second for resolution 2021-19? John Tudor. Hey, John, unmute if you don't mind, please. Yeah, you're still muted, John. I'm assuming that's a motion to approve resolution 2021-19. We shake your head? All right, good. Thank you. Tom Bakken?
Second for resolution 2021-19, Judge.
All right, we have a motion and a second. Do we have any discussion? Y'all have any questions about this? Once we do get awarded, just remember that our community action agency is Kentucky River Foothills. And they would be working with our local citizens and our local utility companies. Is that correct, Tom?
Yes, the way it would actually work is Bluegrass Area Development District would actually contract with Kentucky River Foothills in this case to administer the program. They would actually select a contractor, which would be Kentucky River Foothills in this case, and also oversee the contractor.
Yeah.
So we'd be basically a pass-through. We'd accept the money, cut one check, and then they would actually do the bulk of the program.
Okay. All right. Yeah, any questions? Tom Bakken?
Hey, Judge, I just wanted to say that, it's not always evident to all of us, but throughout our community in Richmond and throughout the county as well, that there are a lot of people that's been struggling through this. And everybody sits down at the table there at bill time, and some people wonder how they're going to pay the gas, or are they going to put food on the table? Are they going to pay the rent? I mean, so a program like this can help a lot of folks. And we're just thankful that there's money there to do that with.
Yeah, I agree, Tom. This email came to me and I was reading through it, and I forwarded it on to Colleen. And Colleen, I said, I get with Tom Webb and see if we can't apply for this, because this would be helpful to our community. It would be helpful to our utility companies and to our citizens to be able to get caught up. So appreciate all the work you've done on this, Tom, working with the Bluegrass Ad. I appreciate the Bluegrass Ad and their leadership in this as well. I know they've been working pretty hard on it too. So any other comments? All right, seeing none, call the roll, please.
Mr. Barger,
Yes.
Mr. Tudor,
Yes.
Mr. Bakken,
Yes.
Mr. Reynolds,
Yes.
Mr. Taylor.
Yes. Thanks, Tom. Next, and that's Tom Webb. Thank you. Next, we have Resolution 2021-20. This is the Kit Carson Commons project. Glenna?
Yes, resolution authorizing payment for the Kit Carson Commons project, whereas Madison County has been awarded the Community Development Block Grant funds from the Commonwealth of Kentucky in the amount of $480,000, and whereas the expenditures of all CDBG funds are in compliance with Kentucky CDBG Handbook, financial management policies, and applicable OMB circulars. Now therefore be it resolved, Madison County, as the recipient of CDBG program funds by signature of County Judge Executive Reagan Taylor, approves the following debts to be paid in full upon receipt of CDBG funds as drawn down from the Kentucky Department for Local Government, or other payments that may be requested from other funding sources. Invoice number 4 for Fahy Consulting is PO number 104, line item 15, administration, CDBG cost of $5,000. Pay application 10 from Spectrum Contracting Services, PO number 105, line item 05K Training Center, CDBG cost of $128,807.38. Be it further resolved that all expenditures have been documented and reported and are authorized for drawdown from the Commonwealth of Kentucky in compliance with all state, federal, and local regulations.
Thank you, Glenna. Do I have a motion and a second to approve Resolution 2021-20? Roger?
Make a motion to approve Resolution 2021-20.
Thanks, Roger. Paul?
I second that motion.
Thank you, Paul. Do we have any discussion? Glenna, if you don't mind, just explain to the court, just as a reminder, a refresher of how these CDBGs come in through our administration, and then we expend them out, sort of the guidelines that you have to follow, just the security measures that are in place, because it's really not a project that we're over. We just get the funds and they pass through. So especially having a new master with Paul Reynolds on here, just kind of just give a little bit of an overview, please.
Okay, anytime we have a CDBG grant, we do have a company that does the administration part of it. This time it is Fahy. We've used different ones in the past for different grants, but Fahy is administering this one. That's why they're getting the payment for $5,000 from the administration. Department of Local Government administers the CDBG grants. Whenever the company that's administering it sends us a drawdown request for the monies, it comes with all the backup documentation of the work that's been done. They have also sent that to the DOG. We send in a drawdown payment to Department for Local Government, and then we pass a resolution through court for the payment to these vendors. We then wait, after it's passed through court, we then wait till those CDBG funds are dropped into a special account. It's only for CDBG funds. It is federal monies. We keep that separate in its own bank account, and then we cut the checks out straight to the vendor. These are audited every year as a single audit through the federal funds, just like our CSEP program and all the FEMA funds.
Thank you.
Thank you, Glenna. Appreciate that. Tom?
Hey, I was just going to ask Glenna, I was curious when I was looking through some of the supporting documents there on the change request. Who approves the change request? There was about $200,000 in change requests so far.
It would go through the administrative company, and then they would have to send it to Department of Local Government to get approved before they could authorize a change request.
Thank you.
And one thing to remember too, that this project is like a $7 million project or something like that. Of course, I think CDBG funds is only that we're passing through is the $480,000, correct, Glenna?
Yes, that is correct. And as of right now, if after this payment, we will have paid $245,000. There'll be about $234 left to pay out.
And this project is a project with through Kentucky River Foothills and EKU. Is that correct?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. Any other questions or comments? All right. I do have a motion and a second, so there's no more discussion. Call the roll.
Pastor Tudor,
Yes.
Pastor Bakken,
Yes.
Pastor Reynolds,
Yes.
Dr. Berger,
Yes.
Ms. Taylor.
Yes. Thank you all. Thanks, Glenna. Next is Resolution 2021-21, Madison County Road Commissioner appointment. A resolution for the appointment of the Madison County Fiscal Court to the Madison County Road Commissioner. Whereas the Madison County Fiscal Court is responsible for the appointment of the Madison County Road Commissioner, and whereas the current term for Jimmy Parsons is set to expire February the 22nd, 2021, and whereas Jimmy Parsons has proven his capability in serving as Madison County Road Commissioner and is willing to continue serving in this capacity, and whereas the Madison County Fiscal Court has found Jimmy Parsons as fit for the position as Madison County Road Commissioner, now therefore be it resolved that the Fiscal Court does hereby approve Jimmy Parsons as Madison County Road Commissioner. Do I have a motion and a second to approve? Tom Bakken?
Hey, Judge, I'll make the motion to I guess, not reappoint, but appoint as a reappointment for Jimmy Parsons as the road commissioner. Jimmy does live in the 4th District.
Thanks, Tom. John Tudor?
I'll second that motion, Judge.
I have a motion and a second. Do we have any discussion? Any questions? All right, seeing none. Call the roll, please.
Dr. Bakken,
Yes.
Dr. Reynolds,
Yes.
Dr. Berger,
Yes.
Dr. Tudor,
Yes.
Ms. Taylor.
Yes. Next is Resolution 2021-22. This is Madison County Utilities Board appointment. Whereas the Madison County Fiscal Court is responsible for the appointment of Madison County Utility Board members, and whereas a vacancy to the Madison County Utilities Board is open, whereas the Madison County Fiscal Court has found Jody Foster as fit for the position as board member of the Madison County Utilities Board. Now therefore be it resolved that the Fiscal Court does hereby approve Jody Foster as a Madison County Utilities Board member. Do I have a motion and a second to approve Resolution 2021-22? John Tudor?
Judge, I'd like to make a motion to approve Resolution 2021-22, the appointment of Jody Foster to the Board of Utilities.
Thank you, John. Roger?
Second.
I do have a motion and a second. Is there any questions? I do think it's important, and it would it's good to recognize and thank Robert Helton for his service to our Madison County Utilities Board. Robert Helton, we lost him a few weeks ago, and Robert had a very special place in my heart. I mean, he was a wonderful man. He was a good friend of my family. He was a longtime community leader, a man of God, and I'm just very saddened by his loss. My thoughts and prayers continue to go out with Rebecca and Becky Ellen and Christy and their families. He was one that if we all could be and grow up like him, we'd live in a much better community and a much better world. So, but I do want to thank him for his service. He's a wonderful member of our utility district. And I also look forward to Jody Foster's service, and I appreciate his willingness to serve. So, any more discussion? Seeing none, call the roll, please.
Dr. Reynolds,
Yes.
Dr. Berger,
Yes.
Dr. Tudor,
Yes.
Dr. Bakken,
Yes.
Ms. Taylor.
Yes. Next, Resolution 2021-23. It's a public service incentive. Glenna, good morning again.
Good morning. Resolution 2021-23, a resolution to award a fiscal year 2020-2021 one-time public service incentive. Whereas the Madison County Fiscal Court and Madison County Sheriff's Office did not give annual performance-based or cost of living-based salary adjustments in July 1, 2020, due to the COVID-19 pandemic and the unknown impact the pandemic would have on the fiscal court's financial position. And whereas the Madison County Fiscal Court voted to reassess salary adjustments at a later date in Resolution 20-76. And whereas the Madison County Fiscal Court was the recipient of CARES dollars from March 1st to December 31st, 2020 to offset losses due to COVID-19. And whereas the Madison County Fiscal Court offices have not been forced to close due to the pandemic. And whereas the Kentucky Constitution affords counties the ability to provide a one-time public service incentive for fiscal court employees. And whereas the Madison County Fiscal Court wishes to award Madison County Fiscal Court and Madison County Sheriff's Office staff who are current full-time, non-elected staff employed on or before July 31st, 2020, with a 1,000 one-time public service incentive, and staff employed from August 1st, 2020 to December 31st, 2020, with a $500 one-time public service incentive to be paid out in the first payroll in March 2021. Now therefore be it resolved that the fiscal court does hereby approve this resolution and authorizes the judge executive to execute same on behalf of the county.
Thank you, Glenna. Do I have a motion and a second to approve resolution 2021-23? Tom Bakken?
Motion to approve resolution 2021-23, Judge.
Thank you. Roger? That was a second. Do we have any discussion? Tom Bakken?
Hey, just to say that, during this whole time here, most of our offices kept running around the clock. And a lot of people put in a lot of time, extra time, and with no breaks, and especially over in the sheriff's department where they were hit with COVID, and their staff, what they had that wasn't out, they had to pick up the slack, pull extra shifts, and all kind of things for others over there. So, we're thankful that we have extra CARES dollars that we can do this with, and it's going to a good cause. We appreciate everybody that works for us. We thank you all very much.
Thank you, Tom. Anybody else? All right, seeing none, call the roll, please.
Master Barger,
Yes.
Master Tudor,
Yes.
Master Bakken,
Yes.
Master Reynolds,
Yes.
Ms. Taylor.
Yes. All right, thank you all. Next is personnel at our animal shelter. And I think we have Katie on with us today. Good morning, Katie.
Good morning, Judge Taylor. Good morning, Madison County Fiscal Court. I would like to recommend Jeffrey Lowry from the Animal Care Department for a pay increase within the classification schedule. The current salary is $13.5 per hour, and the recommendation is to increase that to $15 per hour to be effective on February 17th, 2021. The justification for the increase is that he's received additional certification under the Kentucky Animal Care and Control Association. In addition, he has picked up responsibilities, including now being able to write law enforcement citations for animal control violations and also training our new animal control officer.
Thank you, Katie. Do I have a motion and a second to approve the recommendation? Paul Reynolds.
Make a motion to approve recommendation.
Thanks, Paul. Do I have a second? John Tudor?
Second that, Judge.
I have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? All right, seeing none. Call the roll, please.
Master Tudor,
Yes.
Master Bakken,
Yes.
Master Reynolds,
Yes.
Master Barger,
Yes.
Ms. Taylor.
Yes. Next is judge's report. Do have a few announcements to make. I want to start out with a request from our road department, Willie and Scott and their leadership at our road department. I've been having a few concerns about citizens, especially in subdivisions, parking on the street, on the road. That can be very challenging for our snow plows to be able to get around our roads and to keep them clear of snow or ice, especially with the potential weather that's coming up in the next few days. If it is icy, our trucks really need to have access to our roadways, and they need to be clear. Sometimes when they get to cul-de-sacs, sometimes cul-de-sacs are on the incline, and they can't get turned around. And so we really need to work on getting the message out to our citizens. I'm asking everybody, magistrates, elected leaders, just employees, people watching, to get the message out. With bad weather's coming, if we know it's going to have snow and our trucks could be out, keeping our roads clear, please remember to try to pull in your driveway or pull off the road, so that we're not put in a position where we can't clean your road or that it creates a potential accident. That's not good for anybody. So if you all would I ask the court to please help get that information out. If we're going to have bad weather, please pull off the roadways so that our snow plows can have access. A few updates. Madison County is always honored and always want to welcome the All-A Classic basketball tournament. This year's tournament will be February the 16th through the 21st at EKU's Alumni Coliseum. There will be a few new procedures in place this year due to the pandemic. Please be aware of the possibilities of increased traffic on the bypass or around the community during those days. If you want any information about the All-A Classic, you can visit the All-A Classic's website or Facebook page for schedules or updated information. I want to also remind everybody about our broadband internet initiative, the Kentucky Broadband Initiative program with the test. To remind people if you have not done the test, please go to our website. It's very important for us to have the opportunity to qualify for some potential broadband funding in our community. We really need that data to be able to be collected so that Madison County is not left out in potential funding to expand quality broadband across our county. So just a reminder, let's continue. I think that goes through, we've got a countdown on our website. I think it goes through February the 18th. It has to be done by then. So again, everybody on our call, everybody watching, please continue to get that message out for people to go on and do that broadband test. And again, you can go straight through our website. The Madison County Animal Shelter has numerous animals ready for adoption. Please visit our Madison County Animal Shelter's webpage for up-to-date photos of available animals and adoption schedules. Madison County Courthouse and its related offices will be closed Monday, February the 15th for the President's Day holiday. We will reopen on February the 16th at 8 a.m. Next, we have comments from magistrates. I'll get started with Paul Reynolds today.
I have no comment, thank you.
Thanks, Paul. Tom Bakken.
Hey, just a couple quick ones, Judge. I just wanted to say a thank you to the State Road Department and the County Road Department. I made some calls there about some potholes that need patching in both of those. And so they sent out a crew there just in a day or two and got that taken care of, which was a pretty good feat in amongst the plowing and everything else that they did. And mentioning that, we've got more, inclement weather coming in. And so just, be wary of the snow plows and the drivers, give those guys plenty of room and share the road with them. Also, I just wanted to give an update on that, on the Rural Digital Opportunity Fund. Phase 1, we talked about that here in the last court just a little bit. That's funded by the FCC. And that basically brought $148 billion, I'm sorry, to the state of Kentucky, of which Madison County got $3 million for 1,293 homes. So they're going to be upgrading that's a 10-year project. But we made some calls there, Judge and I, we talked to Charter Communications. They, of course, got $2.6 million to upgrade to 1,077 homes, and they are coming down 52. They're coming across Peggy Flats. They're coming down 595. They're going down Posey Ridge. So, broadband's coming to those areas. Charter said, although that it was a 10-year project, that they anticipated and we're going to try to push that to be done in 6 years. So that, that's coming. I know that may not be what some people want to hear when I'm getting calls about their internet services every day, but it's coming. It's on the way. So we're glad to hear that. And we're glad that Senator McConnell was able to help get that money pushed down to us. And just the last one I had, Judge, was our guardrail's been put back over the CXX bridge over there on 2881. And if anybody should need to get a hold of me for anything, they can reach me at 200-9765.
Thank you, Tom. A couple of things, just follow up on your comments is I want to make sure that that federal funding actually went directly to those private businesses, private entities. It did not come through to the county and then the county send it out. And then also want to make sure that when you talked about the inclement weather, Tom, it reminded me to utilize and our citizens to utilize the TRACS program that we have. You know, you can get on through Facebook or on our website, and you can actually see our snow plows and where they are in case that you're wondering when they're going to plow your road, or and you'll actually see it in live time. So please utilize that wonderful technology. It is an awesome program that we have, and keeps constituents informed. It allows them to know what roads are actual county roads versus state roads or city streets. So please get that message out to utilize our TRACS system. Thanks, Tom. John Tudor.
Judge, I just want to thank our employees. As we stated last year, we were unable to give them any kind of raise or bonus. And through this one-time incentive, with the help of some COVID funds, we're able to give them a one-time $1,000, and I think that'll go a long way. I know that the city of Richmond and the city of Berea were able to do that also. So I didn't want our employees to feel left out, and they work just as hard as any of the employees out there, and appreciate each and every one of them every day. Just wanted to say that school started back now. The buses are out, so watch for them. Watch for kids loading and unloading off the buses. The teachers were able to get the first round of COVID shots this past week, and so they're back in school and hopefully protected there, with the second round coming within 2 to 3 weeks. I was called or notified last week about a tree being down on College Hill Road, and I drove out there and it had already been taken care of. So thank the state road department for that. And like you mentioned earlier, the broadband test is very simple. It only takes 30 seconds or so to complete that. I had numerous calls in the past about the service that the internet service in different areas of the county, and I was glad to see in comments from a lot of people in that area that had taken the test. Just if you're taking it once, you can go back and take it again, but just try to get a broad spectrum of every area of the county and what our internet needs are, so we can help find some increases and upgrading of those services throughout our county, because it is so much needed, more so now that since a lot of kids are doing online classes. So that's all I got, Judge. Just stay safe, and God bless everybody.
Thanks, John. Big Raj.
Don't have much, Judge. Just want to thank the road department for what they've already had to do this winter, and hope we got enough help down there to run all the trucks. I know it's been kind of close on having enough trucks to run, but people need to understand that during the bad weather, our trucks has to slow down a little bit too, just like everybody else, and just be patient. They'll get to your street, but sometimes it's hard to get there until they clean the road that's in front of them. I want to also thank all of our employees for having to work under the conditions that we're in. It don't make it easy sometimes, and I know they probably get a lot of phone calls where people may be upset because they can't come into a certain office, but it's just the times that we're dealing with, and just be patient. That's all I got.
Thanks, Raj. Kenny, do you have anything to add today?
Yeah, we opened back up to the public last Wednesday, and the numbers are starting to go down every day, but it's been unbelievable what we've been able to accomplish. here with opening the new office across the street and being able to spread everybody out. So everybody's in a seat. Everybody that can be answering the phone and doing motor vehicle stuff is doing it right now. And we're all spread out as much as possible. So if we do have another incident with someone being infected, we will not have to shut down an entire office. It'll be one or two people. So come on in and get your stuff done.
Thanks, Kenny. Brooke, it's good to see you today.
Good to see you, Judge. I don't have anything to add this morning.
Thank you. Thanks for being on. Next is department heads. Dustin, I saw you pop on. Do you have something to address the court with today?
Yes, sir. I would just like, I know it's been mentioned a little bit already with the weather coming in. Just want to, for those watching, just give a little information. If you can, the best thing you can do in these situations is stay home. If you have to get out, make sure that you have blankets or extra clothing, your car is full of fuel, things like that. If you do have to get out in it, some home safety tips. If you have a generator, make sure it is, operates correctly and is put into your house correctly so it doesn't backfeed lines and injure any utility workers if we do lose power. Additionally, make sure that generators are outside of your house, and if you're going to cook on on a grill, make sure it's not in your garage either, so we don't have any situations there. Have your batteries in your flashlights, things like that, and try to be safe. We'll be monitoring the situation here and keep everybody up to date as possible. You can check out our social medias, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. We'll be posting information on there about the weather as it comes in and the situation as it occurs. Thank you, Judge.
Thanks, Dustin. Appreciate your update. Any other department heads today? All right, seeing none. Next, we have pay the claims and approve the transfers. I need a motion and a second to do so. John Tudor?
Judge, I make a motion to pay the claims and approve the transfers.
Thank you, John. Paul Reynolds?
I second that motion.
Thanks, Paul. Any discussion? Seeing none, call the roll, please.
Mr. Buchan?
Yes.
Mr. Reynolds?
Yes.
Mr. Berger?
Yes.
Mr. Tudor?
Yes.
Yes. Our next court meeting will be February the 23rd, 2021 at 9:30, right back here on Zoom. Again, that'll be February the 23rd, 2021, right back here on Zoom. And guys, we're getting done right under an hour. That beat a 3-hour court last court. So it's nice to have a little shorter court sometimes when we've had a previous really long court. So appreciate each and every one of you all and what you do for our community. Roger, do you have some final comments?
No, I was just going to make the motion.
Make a motion to adjourn. All right, I got your motion to adjourn.
Also 2.5 hours for me last week.
Yeah, that's right. That's right, because you're 30 minutes late. John Tudor, second. Everybody's wanting to keep it under an hour this time. So call the roll, please.
Mr. Reynolds?
Yes.
Mr. Berger?
Yes.
Mr. Tudor?
Yes.
Mr. Buchan?
Yes.
Yes, Taylor.
Yes. Thank you all very much. Appreciate everybody. Everybody have a great